parents don't understand how much kids learn even when you're not trying to teach them anything.
Also, when you think they're not listening, they'll repeat your words back to you later. They were listening and they're watching all the time. And that was one of the things I learned is that, yeah, it's exactly not so much what you say and what you were trying to teach them. It's what you are. That's what your children are going to be. So you to develop yourself is very important as a parent. And that will, if you take the challenge to educate your children at home, that will be one of the best educations that you get. You will learn a lot in character because it takes a lot of patience, a lot of communication skills, so many skills that parents aren't willing or don't know how to develop. But if you're committed, you can learn those skills from educating your children as far as
Well,
your own personal character development.
and I keep encouraging. Well, our family is encouraging other families to learn together. Most of the parents that I talk to, it's not that they don't want to homeschool, it's that they don't think they know enough to do it. And all I keep telling them is you can learn right along with your kids. And
Yeah.
sometimes that makes for that connection that you were talking about because now you have topics you can talk about, you have things you can relate with each other. And it makes the conversation a lot different instead of just being a teacher or student situation. Now it's, hey, mom and I went and we went to this class and we learned this and this is how it changed our life. And now you've got that in common with them, and it's huge as far as relationship with your children.
Yes, I agree. And so that was learning right along with them, staying one step ahead, or just learning it, actually learning at the same time is very, very valuable.
So when you started, you didn't have a college degree. You were about 18, if I'm not mistaken, if I'm doing the math right. Yes, she's laughing. Yes, she was 18. So you're barely out of high school yourself, and you're starting to teach a child the stuff that you just learned. And I mean, think about how immature we all were at 18 years old.
Oh, yeah.
We say all the time women mature faster than men, but that still is awfully young, even for the more mature female of the species. And then by the time you got done doing this, you were good enough other people because you learned with them. Other people ask you to train their children, and you went and got a 4-year bachelor's degree by testing out of virtually every class except for that one that gave you a 4.0. I love that. And you did it
Yes.
in a year. That is just astounding to me the whole time. You not only were there for your kids, you were inspiring them and showing them, look at what I can do. For all of you that have ever said anything, which I think the highest and best use of your time, man or woman, is to be there and raise your kids.
Oh,
And
yeah.
of course, you have to make money. That's important, but not at the expense of working 80 hours a week away from your children. So you did what some people look down on, even though I see it as the best job in the world, as being the stay-at-home mom for your children. And you all got educated, you all grew together, and were probably a much stronger family. Is that fair to say?
Oh, yes, for sure. And in fact, I the time I did it in about 12 months, but actually it was a little bit after, about 3 months later, because during that time in 2009, my dad was dying of cancer. We lived in Georgia. He was clear across the country in Oregon. And I wanted to go and be with my mom. So because we homeschool, the children and I were able to go cross country and stay there for 3 months. So I took 3 months off during that time to just be with my dad, help my mom, and be there for her. And not only that, then we were able to, after my dad died, we were able to leave my 15-year-old daughter there to stay with my mom because after 48 years of marriage, your mate is gone, and so she wanted to stay, and she was able to spend another month with my mom to. So you get to build family memories and do things that you would never be able to do if you weren't didn't have that time with your children. And time, I think someone once said something about time is life. Time is what life is made out of. So
That's
don't
all that
waste your time.
matters. Yes. So you had the time freedom and the location freedom. You weren't locked in. I have to be there at this job.
Right.
And then you didn't leave. You kind of said it like, oh, I left my daughter. Your daughter got the opportunity to spend an entire month with her grandmother.
That
Yes.
was so precious for her. That is one of her favorite memories as a teenager.